In this video, I'm going to talk to you about how to maintain a healthy work-life balance. This is so important because I don't want you to waste your life at work. I want you to live the life that you deserve. And so I'm going to talk to you about the tools that you must have in order to do this. Some key concepts to remember so you can do it well. And I'm going to give you a plan so you don't have to work more than 45, 50, or 55 hours a week in construction, which still sounds like a lot, but it will at least get the rest of you who are working 60, 65, 70 down to a reasonable amount of hours. And so this video is really timely because we need it in our industry today so we can take care of ourselves and take care of our families. And so by the end of this video, I hope that you're committed to prioritizing your life first. So most of the hours that we work in a day are waste. And I don't mean that to sound offensive. I don't mean that to give you a hard time or ruffle your feathers. I'm just saying that a lot of the argument of we are here at work and we need to be here and it's just a busy time and construction, this is just the way it is, that's actually not true. There is a way to work 45, 50, 55 hours in construction and no more. Now, one disclaimer, when I say, hey, we can work a certain amount of hours, I'm not talking about when you're erecting a crane or when you're doing that critical tie-in to the existing building or, these one-off activities. I'm talking about every day. I'm talking about, for the most part, we need to be working a consistent amount of hours, be home on time for our families, and really take care of our health. And so this is what I'm going to talk about. And by the way, there are other videos that go into more depth than this, but I'm going to give you the high-level formula for how to live a good work-life balance. Number one, to-do list. And so your to-do list, everything that you think about doing, get that on your to-do list and capture that on that list. Remember, your mind is for having ideas, not for holding them. That's step number one. And as a part of this list, you're going to capture, clarify, which means that I'm just going to tell you right now, some of these you don't belong doing. Like, you shouldn't do it. Like, that needs to be delegated or it needs to be deleted from your schedule. Not everything you think to do, you should do. Here's the measure of success. Only do what you should do and you can do. So step one, keep a to-do list. Step two, leader standard work. We can link you to the other video in this channel on leader standard work. It's fantastic. Leader standard work is the planning of your work that makes you effective as a leader, as a homebody, and as a person that will make you effective within a weekly calendar. Okay? So if you have a weekly calendar and you say, yes, I know where I'm supposed to be in the week for my family. Yes, I know when I'm supposed to take my doctor's appointments, my coaching visits, my trainings. And yes, I know what I'm supposed to be doing as a leader throughout the week, Monday through Friday. That's the second step. Okay? This will enable you to achieve your goals and to get home on time and to have a target. Now, what do you do with this information? Every day when you wake up, you have two things that you do. Number one, it's your plan for the day and your morning routine. So you get up and you do your morning routine. For some people, it's wake up, it's take a shower, take the dog for a walk, get your morning coffee, prayer, meditation, possibly even exercise, drink water, whatever it is. There's a morning routine that will center you. And I'm going to give you the secret. We cover this more in boot camps and in other trainings that we do here at Elevate. But if you can center in the morning with a moral and ethical foundation, and then center yourself with mindfulness activities, meaning something like box breathing or meditation or thinking time or prayer or exercise, anything that clears your mind, and then really get into a mindset of giving and service and gratitude for that day, which are not fluffy things. If we wire our minds with gratitude and giving, that's what it takes to be a leader. That's what it takes to live a remarkable life. So if every day, like for me personally, I do box breathing, which you can look it up or you can look it up in the book called Unbeatable Mind by Mark Divine. But box breathing is where you breathe over 5, in 5, hold it for 5, exhale, hold, inhale, hold, exhale, hold, inhale, hold, exhale, right? And I will do that breathing exercise and it clears my mind. It regulates my heart rate. It trains my mind to focus. It clears my mind so that I'm free. And then I put my hand over my heart and I think of what I'm grateful for that day. And then I do it again 5 times around the box. And then I put my hand over my heart and I think, what am I going to do to give today? That's part of my morning routine. In addition to prayer, scriptures, thinking time, and anything that I want to do for my health, or even taking a shower, just doing my normal hygiene routine in the morning. This is absolutely crucial. So my first challenge for you is, if you don't have a remarkable morning routine, let's get one. And let's get it to where you can center on what you're grateful for and how you want to give that day, because grateful people and givers have influence as leaders. There's 2 books you can read for that. One is called The Leader Without a Title. The other one is called The Go-Giver. Those are 2 fantastic books to really center on this concept that I'm telling you. So once your mindset is framed for that day and you're ready to go to work, here's how you craft your plan for the day. And you'll remember in other videos I said, if you can form a plan for the day, you neither have to stress about the future or beat yourself up about the past. So check this out. Your leader standard work, these are already on your Outlook calendars as different activities. They're already there. And these activities, because your leader standard work prioritizes your family, yourself, and then your leader role at work, in that order, will, if you execute it every day, get you to your long-term goals. Then you say, hey, from my to-do list, what are the top 5 things that I'm supposed to do today? These top 5 things, I can go ahead and plan these into the day with buffers. And so the buffers are little areas where you have extra time to finish, to reflect, to absorb variation, and it helps to ensure that you actually accomplish those things throughout the day. Now maybe you have 1 or 2 that you don't get, but even if you got most of them, you can go home feeling like you're winning. Now, work-life balance. When you go through that door at night and you're ready to drive home, what we need to do is focus on how we're going to take care of our family, put our shoulders back, and say things that are powerful like, I will, I love my family. And you open that door ready to give them 100%. You can't be ready to give them 100% if you felt like you were failing that day. So the to-do list, the leader standard work, your morning routine, and your day plan allow you to win, done, finished. Now I get to go home and take care of my family. You can also have a routine like you do in the morning right before you go through that door. You can include breathing exercises, the box breathing, a little bit of meditation. Maybe you want to listen to some pump-up music on the way home. The bottom line is, when you're here, play hard here. When you're here at home, let me draw that right now. When you're at home, play hard at home. Don't bring your grumpiness, your distractedness, and your focus from work home. When you're at home, be at home. So real quick, before I move on to the rest of my content, I want to ask you, are you finding this valuable? In what ways will this help you in your life and in your career? Please leave us a comment below. And remember, like, we have to plan our time and give ourselves time to do something. Right now, this is your time to go like, comment, and subscribe right now. So this is a part of our leader standard work. So please hit that button and stay with us. So let me give you 2 grand keys with this on really how to have a great work-life balance, okay? You have to say, this is the amount of hours that I'm going to work, period, end of story. Done. You have to constrain your time. It has to happen. If you don't, you will naturally fill the rest of the hours with waste. This is what I mean. You will never, if you stayed on your construction project all week and never slept and somehow had superhuman powers, and if you had an infinite amount of people on your project site to manage and run it, you would still never get home. Construction has an infinite amount of tasks to fill the void and keep you at work. You cannot work what you think it takes to get it done. You have to work a set amount of hours that works for your family and you, and constrain it into those hours. Let me ask you this question. Would people in the Olympics or in professional sports teams, would they win the prize if they got it done, but it wasn't on time? Meaning, like, if we played the game, but we played it all night outside of the time parameters. Or we were in this gymnastics competition and we did the thing, right? But we didn't finish it on time. Or we ran the race and we finished the race, like we finished it all the way to the end, but we didn't finish on time. Did we win? No. You have to finish it on time. So if we don't sympathy vote Olympic athletes, if we don't sympathy vote professional sports teams, if we don't sympathy vote other people in different aspects of life, why do we get to say, yeah, I got my job done, but it took me 90 hours this week? There is no such thing as a good PM or superintendent that has to work 90 hours a week. It's just not a thing. The best of the best of the best can get it done in the hours given. Here's what I noticed. We started to do superintendent PM boot camps, and we asked them to schedule, to keep a personal organization system, to eliminate their waste. They never even started until we forced them as a part of the course requirements to constrain their hours. It was only when we said 50 hours cap or 55 hours max that then they started to get creative. Then they started to delegate. Then they started to leverage the team. Then they started to triage their to-do list. Then they started to plan with their trade partners. And then. Then they started to do all the things that make for a remarkable life. And so if you really want to win with this and have a work-life balance, you constrain your hours. And the last thing that I want to say is tracking your time. I know a lot of you, and I love you, let me give you one of these. A lot of you will not do this, but if you want to be excellent, you will. So for the small percentage that will do this, the prize is yours. So I'm telling you that in a week, that you can get your job done in anywhere from 35 to 45 hours. $100 million job, senior superintendent, 45 hours. You're probably thinking, Jason, you're crazy. Now hold on a minute. So let's just use 45 hours as a basis. 45. Okay? Let's say this is what it takes to get your job done. And let's say you start tracking this. You're using your to-do list. You're using your leader standard work. You're capping your hours. And you say, okay, first week, we got it done in 60. Okay, now I need to look at what's going on. You looked at your week and you're like, okay, I didn't get this done. I had 3 or 4 hours extra of this. I didn't get this done. I spent too much time doing this. Meaning that in your week, you're actually doing a reflection on what you did and did not get done. And you're tracking your hours. And you're like, okay, I got this first week done in 60 hours. Then you make improvements and you say, okay, now I want to do something different next week. And you do that. Maybe next week you get down to 55. Then you look at it again. What did I and did I not get done? What were the root causes? What improvements do I want to make? Maybe you get down to 52. Maybe then it goes back up to like 57 and then 47. And you start tracking it every week and using this system to get your hours down. Meaning you're eliminating waste and making improvements here. Well, let me show you something. Any time that you gain above 55 hours is time that you needed for your family. Any time above 50 hours is time that you can spend continuously improving your project, making better visuals, making better systems, improving the office, implementing lean. Any time above 45 hours is time that you can spend working on your career. So I'm not saying go home. I'm not saying 45 hours cut out and quit. You surely could. But what I'm saying is that all of this time right here, before we reduced the amount of time we spent on our base role, is waste. And I want it gone. I want it gone. I want you to be able to accomplish your role in 45 hours, no more than 45 hours. I want you to be able to spend time on your career. I want you to be able to spend time on improving your job. And I want you to spend time with your family. And so if you will cap your hours again to this 55 and then track your hours and drive it down to where you get this value add activity down here at the end, you get this time back, right? That's when you're really going to start to be successful with having a work-life balance. And so those are the 2 grand keys. And so my call to action is implement this system. We will link in the description below some videos that you can use to implement this. The other thing we're going to link you to is the Super PM Bootcamp. In that bootcamp, we go over this in detail and show you how to win with this system. It really, really does work. And I want to say in closing, you deserve to live a remarkable life. Time to stop letting construction chew us up and spit us out. It's time for us to be back in the driver's seat. It's time for us to be back in control. I promise you, I testify to you, like I was testifying in a court of law, that this system works. Everyone that attempts to use this for at least 60 days sees massive improvement in their personal schedule. And so I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you go down to the description and link to those other videos and to that Super PM Bootcamp. I've had a lot of fun with you on this video. On we go.